got 10 seconds remaining. Looks like it's going to be a draw. Looks like it's heading for a draw. Maguire down the line. Noah. Oh! Ryan Hall scores the lead and wins the league leading
Hi everybody and welcome to the Lot Pod, the Leeds Rhinos Lot 17A podcast, kindly sponsored by ACD&B, who are a branding and creative design agency based in Farsley, Leeds. They create standout brands, so if any companies out there need a new logo or a brand refresh, just get in touch with ACD&B. Thanks as always to them for sponsoring us. Welcome to another Lot Pod special. Obviously joining me for this one as always is Reese. How are you, mate?
Yeah, really good, thank you. Another midweek special. We're getting used to these now, aren't we?
We are getting used to these. We've been so lucky with all our guests. We had Danica on last week. We've had Justin Harris, Barry McDermott. Who's coming on tonight?
So fresh from her two tries on the weekend. Player of the match to send Leeds Rhinos women's team to the grand final. Heritage number 5, which I find quite appropriate since she started as a wing as part of the first ever Rhinos women's team. It's Sophie Robinson. Hi, Sophie.
Hi, yeah.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Thanks for coming on. The first active women's player we've had on. So that needs to go into your Wikipedia entry there. Put that in. First one on the Lot Pod.
Add it in after the call today.
Poor Danica, you said she was the first women's player last week. You've kind of put on a lower shelf now. Active women's player.
First active. Yeah, there's different Wikipedia entries. I think we have to start with that amazing game on Sunday. Sophie, how are you feeling after that one?
Yeah, buzzing. We knew what we had to do going into that game to get the win over Saints. But yeah, we just... like looking around the pitch, like went in at half time, it was just like, there's no in this game. Like I think we all knew going in at half time, we had the win there. But yeah, we're just so buzzing to go into the final now. Like we've worked so hard this year. We had like winning the treble, and it's not paid off. But yeah, we set a name a few weeks ago to get to the grand final. Yeah, we've done it. So the girls were just buzzing. Can't wait to get out there now next week. And show what we're made of and show how we are when we actually perform together as a team.
And win another grand final.
Yeah, fingers crossed. I was injured when we last played in the grand final, so it's still a trophy for me that I'm wanting to actually play the final and achieve. So fingers crossed we'll get it again next week.
Obviously, in the lead up to the game on Sunday, you lost Georgia Roche. Obviously, that was what everyone sort of thought was a massive injury. How did the side go about overcoming that?
Yeah, Roche is a massive loss for us. This year, she's been amazing. She's got a nomination for Women of Steel. But yeah, I think it shows how strong our team is now. Nobody was worried that we wouldn't have players being able to step up into her position. We probably have multiple players who could have pulled on like the halfback shirt on Sunday. But Sam, yeah, she's an amazing player and she stepped up. She showed like she's been training hard and she showed that she can step up into that position. So yeah, she is a massive loss, Roche, but we're just lucky that we've got strength in depth and we're going to go out there in the final and play for her as well. Because like I said, she's an amazing player and fingers crossed she'll be right for England for the World Cup.
Yeah, massively fingers crossed. We're doing teammate questions later on, but in relation to the game, is there anyone that can scream louder than Zoe Hornby? Because when she scored that try, I think the whole of Headingley must have heard that scream.
Yeah, it was loud. I'd probably say Caitlin and Tash can give her a run for money. You just sit in the changing room and you hear one of them just randomly scream out. They'll probably give Zoe a run for her money, but no, it was funny when Zoe went over the try line and everyone just piled on top of her. I don't even think the ref had blown the whistle to finish the game. All piled on.
There was unfortunately there was a Saints player that had tried to tackle Zoe as well. You're all diving on the top. I thought,
there were 5, Reece. There were about 5 or 6 that tried, but there was no way they were stopping her.
Yeah, I could see her like underneath, and I thought if I jump on now, there's no way she's getting out here. So I'll just play off a little bit, let her get on her feet.
So obviously looking forward to the grand final. What does the build up look up to the grand final as for you as a team?
Yeah, so training. I think we've got another like four sessions left. So yeah, we'll just be improving on little bits that we probably didn't perform well against when we last played York. So we know we've got to fix up on some things. But yeah, it was train last night, relax, like everyone, you could just see how happy we were to like still have another couple of weeks training together. So yeah, we'll just enjoy each other's company the next 2 weeks, because you don't get to like play in a grand final like all the time. So we'll just enjoy each other's company. We'll have team feed next Thursday. So yeah, it'll just be nice to run up to the grand final. But yeah, we know we've got things to improve off, and yeah, we'll be focused tomorrow when we head back into training.
Fantastic. It's a bit of a shame it's still on at St Helens with it being a Yorkshire derby. It'd have been nice for it to be moved to Headingley, but I suppose we can't complain. We can't complain getting the grand final. So we normally obviously start with we couldn't go over Sunday, but normally start with how you got into rugby, and obviously it was quite interesting with Danica last week, and she got into rugby at a bit of a younger age, but really started playing at uni. Does your story differ to that? When did you start sort of getting interested in rugby and wanting to play the game?
Yeah, so it was when I went to high school. I went to Farnley Academy, and they had like a women's rugby team. So I just gave it a go there. And then somebody from Farnley Falcons, came down and they wanted to start up like a girls' team. So I went down to that and just started playing. Probably 12 or 13, I started playing with Farnley Falcons. I did my ACL, I think I was like 13 or 14, and then I just gave it up for a little bit. I just continued with athletics. And then I went to college and I did PE, and we had to like play for a team to like do it in our like A levels. So I went back to Stanley, started playing again, and then just from there, Rhinos came about in 2018, and I've always supported Leeds Rhinos. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go like for the trials, and luckily got in. I thought I'd done appalling in the trials, and I was like gutted after, but yeah, got in through the trials, and then just been playing for Leeds since then.
So obviously you were a winger. I'm assuming in athletics were you a sprinter?
Yeah, and long jump. But once I did my ACL, I think that just scuppered any chances. Yeah, but I feel like if I didn't go into rugby, I probably could have like gone far in athletics. But yeah, I think just the body would give up on me now.
We've got a history of ACL injuries with guests on this podcast. Obviously, Danica done it a fair few times. So obviously, it'd be great to talk about that trial. What were the trials like for the Leeds Rhinos? Like, what did it entail to obviously part of that to get into the team?
Yeah, so we just played games. So because it was just forming the team, we're just playing like, I think it was contact games against each other, just like a few skill drills. But I remember like Chev Walker was down there like observing us. I don't even know who else. But yeah, it was just games. And then I got told after the first set of trials I'd made the team. And then I think there was like further trials. But yeah, it seems like so long ago now, even though it was only like 2018. But yeah, it just seems like years ago since the team was actually formed.
And then obviously 2018 team starts, good season, but I think I can't remember off the top of my head now. We won the Challenge Cup that year, didn't we? But then we got to the grand final, but lost.
Yeah.
But what was that experience of the first sort of cup final with the Challenge Cup and the victory? How did that feel?
Yeah, really good. I think because obviously coming from like amateur standing level, I think it showed like the step up from like the stadiums we're playing in, like the crowd, and even then we were starting to get like the women's game was starting to get like publicity, and from them it's just got better and better. Like looking at the grand final we played in 2018, it was at like Etihad, the pitches at the side of Etihad, and now we're playing at like St Helens and Headingley, so it's just a massive step up, and then next year we're playing at like Wembley for the Challenge Cup. So
that's
yeah, it's
brilliant.
to see the progress that's being made within the women's game. And I think it'll just continue to grow now.
We certainly hope so. And Danica was talking about, because I asked her the question about, do you feel part of the club was that women's team? And originally it was the foundation first, wasn't it? And it was moved across. But she was saying you had access to, all the medical and physio and stuff like that. Did that obviously feel like quite a big step up as well, obviously, when you moved from Stanley?
Yeah, definitely. Like having a physio, like I don't think you'd really get that amateur level. But yeah, even just the standards, like just knowing like how you're meant to train, what you have to do outside of training. Like there is such high standards that Leeds have of us, which is really good. And it's probably the same as like the men's, that the standards they have. Like we are treated, you know, as like elite athletes. So it is a big change. It is hard to adjust to like changing, you know, like your diet, changing like your fitness routine, but it is good. And Leeds have really invested in the women's side, and yeah, we do feel like part of like one club, and I think that's
Brilliant.
a thing with Leeds, like they want everyone to be like part of one club. So I think most teams and most players would say they do feel, you know, part of like one club at Leeds Rhinos. I think it's probably so successful is like the support we get from everyone in the club and all the staff we get. We are really lucky.
I've got to kind of ask then. So when you're at Kirkstall, is there sometimes when the men's team are there? Because at quite a lot of the points in the last few years, our women's side has been the team to shout about. And you know, I've kind of I've got an image in my head of the women going, "Oh, you lost again." Do you ever get to that?
They can't win.
Yeah. Do you ever get that opportunity to socialise and, you know, obviously have that banter between the sides?
Sometimes we see them like if we train on like a Sunday session, but because we normally train like evenings, we don't really get to cross over much with like the men's team. But yeah, Rowan Smith, he like came in the changing rooms on Sunday and spoke to us, and he said like he's all about like having one team. So it is nice that like the players and coaches are like looking out for our scores and stuff. So yeah, you do feel like over like the men's and the wheelchair, they're really like proud of us, and we're proud of them as well.
We're proud of you as well.
So you've started as a winger, but you moved to centre, haven't you? You kind of flirted between the two positions. Which one do you have a preference, or are you just happy to be on the pitch?
If you'd have asked me at start of season, I'd have probably said centre. But I feel like now I'm liking the wing position. I think that the centres we've got, Hannah and Caitlin, are just amazing playing in like the centre. Just the lines of run and defence. But yeah, I really enjoy playing outside Caitlin at wing. So if you ask me now, I'd probably say wing, but that may change in due course.
And then obviously moving on from 2018, you went into 2019, and that was probably a memorable season for you for probably the wrong reason, really, wasn't it? We've had questions in here before about what's the worst injury you've ever had. I don't think any of those injuries meant a game had to be stopped. That was quite a serious injury, wasn't it, you got in 2019?
Yeah. So it was like I fractured my ankle in 3 places and dislocated it. So I was like able to walk, for 12 weeks. So yeah, it was pretty nasty. I didn't like after that. I was like, I'm not playing rugby again. I couldn't even...
Understandable.
Yeah, like I'm not playing rugby again. But it's just like you rehab and then you run, and it's like, oh, do you know what? I feel like I'm ready to like make a tackle now. But yeah, it's still sometimes you're at the back of my mind. I think, especially when I'm getting tackled. But yeah, it's all like screwed together now. So I think it'll withstand anything. No, it's got metal.
Do you think the break of the 2020 season might have helped that a bit in terms of the recovery and not obviously having to come back so quickly?
Yeah, definitely. Like throughout lockdown, I was just rehabbing. Like I was able to did like online Zoom calls, and I was just rehabbing. I'll probably it probably did help me. But yeah, I probably didn't because I didn't like get hands-on physio and stuff. But yeah, it was good just to have a rest, just rehabbing my own time and not have the pressure of, you know what, I need to rush back for this game. But yeah,
with a deadline,
yeah.
I think it's quite an important moment to highlight as well that obviously the women's side aren't paid at the moment as much as we would like it to be and move towards professional. So obviously having an injury as such of that, did that this is the actual side of where you make the money to pay your rent. Was that affected at all with the injury?
Not for me because I just finished uni, so luckily I had insurance, so I just went traveling after I was out my boot. I just went traveling for a few months, and then I came home and lockdown happened, and I was lucky that I got like straight into a job. So for me, no, but I think that is like a big worry for a lot of women is if they do get injured. How like pay your bills and get to work. So yeah, I think that is probably somewhat like the women's game need to look at, like offering like insurance to all players and
absolutely.
if you find yourself injured and not being able to work for like a long period of time.
And then 2021, again, a good season, but unfortunately just came short. But you beat them last week, so you got the payback. You got the payback, and for the Challenge Cup this season as well.
Yeah, disappointing 2021 because I think we knew we had all the answers to win, especially the grand final, and we just didn't perform. But yeah, we knew we could win them on Sunday, and we showed that. So now we've just got one obstacle of York to get over, and fingers crossed we'll be lifting that trophy and grand final winners this year.
Certainly hope so. And obviously this year, obviously with the crowds returning in full flow, you've had some really good attendances. I think the Challenge Cup was the highest for a women's game. What was that like playing at Ellen Road?
Yeah, amazing. Well, I didn't play in that game. I was just a spectator, but yeah, it was really good atmosphere. And it's nice to play in like Ellen Road, like massive venues like that. But you won't get a chance again, like probably to play in a stadium like that. So it's just massive that we're now like getting this platform. And I'm just hoping as the game progresses, we start getting a bigger like fan base and we start getting more supporters. Because you see, like when we've been playing before at Headingley, we're getting the crowds in, and especially as it gets closer to the men's game, we're getting more like fans in, and hopefully them coming in and seeing like the standard we're playing, that's just making them think, oh, next game I'm gonna go watch like a full game. So yeah, I think the fans will definitely like progress, and Leeds fans are amazing anyway. They always get out to support us, be it like at Wheatwood or Headingley. They're always there cheering for us, so it's really nice.
I have to admit, I do enjoy watching the double headers, and one of the main reasons I enjoy watching it is obviously at the end of the game, all the team come across the south stand, and the amount of young girls that are down there, asking for photos of you and autographs. Is that a bit surreal, having photos taken and autographs? I mean, I'd find it strange. I mean, personally, I would probably cry if I got on the Headingley pitch. But like, is that still a bit surreal? Does that still feel real that people are there, like kids are asking for autographs and signatures and stuff like that?
Yeah, it's really nice though, because obviously like growing up, I obviously couldn't look to like a Leeds Rhinos women and be like, oh, I want to grow up and be playing for the Leeds Rhinos women's team. So yeah, it's just nice to know that we're like making a positive difference, and hopefully we're like role models for these young girls so they can know,
Oh, you are, without a doubt, you are, definitely.
Like the women's team, and hopefully by then they'll be able to be like full-time athletes. So yeah, it's just nice that like young girls are able to come out and see someone similar to them like playing on a pitch, and hopefully they can achieve the dreams of playing for like a Super League team when they're a bit older.
Brilliant. Lottie, any questions from you about just the career, or do you want to move on to the teammate questions?
I've got one question about Wembley. Obviously, you kind of mentioned it earlier but I mean, the prospect of playing at Wembley Stadium. You spoke about Ellen Road. I mean, that's a massive boost for the women's game. That the Challenge Cup finals there too.
Yeah, it's so good. Like I've been saying, it needs to be at Wembley Challenge Cup final. So I'm glad that it's finally happening next year. I'm just hoping it's Old Trafford soon as well for grand final, because that's one stadium like I just love going to grand final. I think it's such a good atmosphere, and I'm just hoping that we get the chance to have the women's grand final there as well, because I think we deserve to play at like the top stadiums, and I think it just makes an to have like a curtain raiser before the men's game, just kick off the day with like a high quality women's final. So yeah, fingers crossed we'll get there next year, because I just think it'd just be amazing to play at like Wembley. It's such like an iconic stadium.
You mentioned going to like grand finals and stuff. Have you got some favourite moments as a fan of Leeds Rhinos that you've been to?
I think it was when did they win three years in a row. I just remember like watching the finals. Like,
they did, yes.
I think I must have gone to 2 of them, and then I must have been watching at home. But yeah, I just remember like the Rob Burrow, the Kevin Sinfield, and I think that's probably like the years I enjoyed, watching rugby the most and got into rugby.
Oh, we all did.
It was amazing. You just smile looking back at like the tries and the memories, because it was just such a good like period for the Leeds Rhinos and got me like rugby league.
I do find myself going back to those games highlights sometimes. Like if it is in a weird way, it's a bit of not like a stress reliever, but if I'm not in the best of moods, sometimes just watching those games and watching those tries and stuff, it is such good memories. And we grew up in that area. He was bald by that time, was he? By the time he got to that time, because of that much stress.
Yeah, and gone. Lost it all. Thanks for that, Reese. I've got some questions on just on your hobbies and interests, just to kind of utilise your time to get to know Sophie Robinson as a person. You know, we know you're a great rugby league player and talk about the game very well. First questions are on travel. What's you mentioned travelling a little earlier there. What's the favourite place or two that you've ever visited, Sophie?
Oh, this is hard because travelling is like my favourite thing to do.
Right.
I'd probably say probably Bali. I love there.
Oh, wow.
But I love Ibiza. I've been for like the past 2 summers, and it's just somewhere. If I could, I would go out and live there because I just think it's like got the party vibe, but it's got the chill vibe as well, and it's just so nice. So I'd probably say Ibiza or Bali. But I went to Bahamas this year with Jamaica.
Wow.
And that was for like a different reason because obviously I was out there with rugby. So I can't pick anywhere with sun. As long as it's got sun, I won't moan.
Is there a place, a country, a city that you've not been to that you'd love to visit?
Yeah, I want to do Jamaica. I'm half Jamaican. I feel like I should have been by now. So Jamaica's definitely on my list. And I want to do Morocco as well. That's on top of my list. Hopefully at the start of next year.
Yeah, head out there. Music. Have you got some favourite bands or artists?
I'd probably say I love Rihanna. She's probably like my top female artist. But yeah, I like J-Host, Dave. I like that sort of music as well. But my random, like random music just all time.
Is there a typical or type of music that you just can't listen to? It just don't sit right with
you? Oh, I don't know. You know, I probably say like musicals. I'm not really a fan of. I'm probably like.
Oh, Reese loves those.
Yeah, I generally do. Rocky Horror will change your life. I'm just putting it out there. All for the wrong reasons. I don't know why I've just said that on camera. That's not great.
This is live, Reese.
I know, live. That can't be taken back now, can it?
We can clip that now. Put that on Twitter forever. On to films. What are some of your favourite films, Sophie?
So I'm not a big film watcher. I'm really bad. Like since TikTok's been about, I have no attention span. So I'd probably say it's probably Grease or Parents Trap, but it's probably because I hardly ever watched.
Because you haven't seen a film since Parents Trap.
Did you say Grease?
Grease,
yeah.
You don't like musicals?
No, Grease is different. No, I love Grease. Grease
that's like the most famous one.
Most famous musical ever.
Yeah.
No, I like the songs on there. I think probably because I grew up with it.
TV. Some of your favourite TV shows. Is something you've been binging or something you'd recommend people to watch?
I love my soaps. I'm quite like an odd woman, to be fair. So I watch
Emmerdale.
Hollyoaks. So I'd recommend everyone to watch Emmerdale. Everyone says it's like an odd program, but I'd recommend it. But a really good one I've just started series 2 is Capture on BBC. But it's so good. I'd recommend everyone watching it because I'm like gripped, and it's hard to grip me now, like watching a drama, but that's fully gripped me. So Capture on BBC. You will not be disappointed.
They do like a police drama, don't they, on the BBC? Like, isn't it like Line of Duty, Happy Valley, Broad? Was it Broadhurst? Yeah. They love it, don't they?
Yeah.
On to food. Now,
this is a specialist topic. This is like the mastermind. This is like mastermind, is this?
Is it real? This is what...
specialist topic, isn't it?
Yeah, Danica kind of... Is it... You've got an Instagram... Is it Food with Sophie or...
Yeah.
Instagram review. Yeah, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, I just thought I eat out so much, and I've seen other people like make food Instagram. So I was like, do you know what? I'm gonna make one, and it's just posting what I eat. Now it's mainly like when I eat out. So yeah, just made one. Like started. Well, I've got not a lot of followers, but I've got a few followers, and like restaurants reach out to you and invite you to come like try a new menu or come and try some food. So
for free.
Yeah, so I've had it's so good. Like Jollibee's, in town, they gave me like a £20 voucher just to go try some new burgers.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it was slapping.
That's the dream. Free
We're
burger.
in the wrong game, Eddie.
We've done the wrong podcast.
Yeah, we've done completely the wrong podcast.
Oh no.
And they'll literally invite you to come and try food and just give you free vouchers to go around. Like one place said invite as many people as you want, because it was like a new takeaway opening. It was just like invite as many as you want and order whatever you.
Wow.
So you actually changed one of our podcast listeners and regular guest, Laurie, his life, really, because he is a fat hippo, religiously fat hippo. And I always have to say fat hippo about 4 times in a podcast just to make sure they do sponsor us one day.
If you do want to sponsor us, Fat Hippo, we are here.
But he went to Meat Stacker after your most recent post, and he said, "Oh my God, it was like the best burger he's ever had."
Yeah, do you know what? Fat Hippo, I was always like, this is the best burger I've ever had in Leeds. And then I went to Meat Stack last week, and I think it's top Fat Hippo.
Wow.
Yeah, in fact, I would recommend everyone to go to Fat Hippo as well. And I'm surprised they haven't offered me free food yet, because I think they put a burger on the menu. Because
are you listening, Fat Hippo? Yeah, free food.
I said, keep this burger on the menu, and they've brought it back, so I'm like sort of like taking credit for them bringing the burger back.
You deserve a couple of freebies if you ask me.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, I'd say everyone go to Fat Hippo Meat Stack, because they probably are the best burgers in Leeds.
I think we've said Fat Hippo 20 times now, so that's worth the sponsorship. That's worth the sponsorship or a couple of free burgers. That
yeah, at least a free burger. I'd take a free burger.
Has to be. Someone has to get onto them. We did kind of look at your food with stuff Instagram, and the food on there does look amazing. Like just looking through it, I was starving. Like just talking to my wife, saying like, and then she's going, "What are you looking at?" And I'm like, "Look," and she's jotting them down. We have to go here, here, here. So it does work. So the fact that you're reviewing them and putting the pictures on makes me want to go. Laurie from the podcast went to Meat Stack, so you've got quite the following there. Do you have any more ideas for the Instagram page? Have you thought about a podcast or a YouTube channel or a TikTok account, or do you have that in place now, or any ideas?
No, I'm thinking I'm going to try make a TikTok account, because I'm trying to TikTok influencer. I don't know how you become it, but I got like 3.5 million views on one of my videos. So I'm like,
wow.
TikTok I'm going to aim for next. But I just don't know what to do or what videos, but I'm thinking that's probably a good like market to try get into, especially food, because I always see food videos and I'm like, I want to try that.
Work, don't they? Yeah. But did you get 3.5 million hits on a food review?
No, it was when I were on holiday and in Santorini, and I sat on, like the wall to get a photo, and like I moved my arm and my bag fell down the wall, like. And it was capped because it was a photo. It was on live, so you can see me like reacting to it falling down the like. I don't even know what it was, but like onto the ledge and stuff. So people were like, "Oh my God, did you lose your bag?" Yeah, I'm trying to just post lots of TikToks now.
So on sticking with food, what is your favourite food?
Oh, it's an hard question, this. I always have to think about it for a bit. But I'd probably say I love Mexican food, like authentic Mexican food. So probably say like tacos. I love tacos. I'd probably say tacos, and then probably burgers second. If they're good.
You can't beat a burger. There's always a mood for it's like a mood in it. If you're drunk, the taste amazing. If you're starving, I can just eat burgers constantly.
Like burgers, beef burgers, like different toppings. You can't go wrong with a burger.
Yeah, spicy ones, chicken ones, fish ones. Fat Hippo, you listening?
We've had a comment from David.
A burger podcast, I think. I think that's your next call him.
Yeah, next one. Go on, Rich, sorry.
David Grant's put a comment in. Have you tried the veggie restaurant Prashad in Drillington?
Oh no, but I have. Is it it's the Indian restaurant, I think, and I always
you're right. It is, yes.
It's meant to be nice there, but no, I've never been. I'm quite a big meat eater, but I do need to try it because I've heard good things about it.
I could never go there. I just couldn't pay for a meal that didn't contain meat.
Really?
I just feel robbed.
I love a paneer curry, like the paneer cheese. It's really nice.
Oh no. You have to have meat. That's what you're paying for. That's the treat, really.
Yeah. No, I'm a big cheese eater.
Is there a food that you don't enjoy, that you can't stand, that you can't eat?
Not really. Not a big fan of cheese, though. Like
Me
I like
too.
burgers, but I don't like, like different cheese. If there were a cheese board, I wouldn't pick anything off of it.
Me too.
Yeah, the thought makes me feel a little bit sick. Like cheese and crackers is just not for me.
It's disgusting. It's too dry. It's awful.
I don't get the hype with it, and that's probably controversial, but
Boring. Cheese is the most boring food to eat. Like on its own, it's bland. It's disgusting. Look at Reese's face.
I don't
Cheese
think
and biscuits and port. What do you want out of life?
No, awful. As soon as the cheese board comes out, like at Christmas, it's time to go home. I'm like, right, I'm done. I'm not having it. Leave me to it. I think I'm obviously older than you both. I know that for a fact because I'm quite old. I think kind of the food scene in Leeds, Sophie's, there's a lot of areas now that have different, like, Headingley and in town and Horsforth. There's all different kinds of food, restaurants and takeaways opening up. Do you think Leeds has had a massive boom? Like, obviously, you've been around a lot of places to review them. Do you think it's growing in taste and in how cosmopolitan and the different flavours and options are available across the city?
Yeah, I think we're getting so many more restaurants, especially the burger scene boomed the past year. But still, like when I look at Manchester, like every restaurant I see on Instagram is in Manchester. Yeah. So I think we are lacking a little bit. Like we're so behind Manchester, but we are up and coming, I think. And I want to open a restaurant because I just think we're lacking certain things. I'm like, I'm gonna fill a gap in that market one day.
Go for it, yeah.
Yeah, I've so many ideas. Yeah, the burger scene, I think it's top notch now. There's so many restaurants. I just think for casual dining, it's a bit poor Leeds still.
Gap in the market there, Soph.
Yeah.
On to your teammates now. Got some teammate questions for you. Who's the best trainer at the club, would you say?
I'd probably say, it's a hard one. Probably say Danny Anderson. She trains really strong. She's always at every training session. Probably Danny Anderson, Hannah Butcher. You probably wouldn't ever want to run at Hannah. But
no.
Yeah. I don't want to drink with her either after what I heard from Danica.
Danica said.
Yeah, Hannah Butcher. But yeah, I wouldn't ever want to run at her. Her defense is just amazing.
It's outstanding. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. But yeah, probably the props train really hard all the time as well. Like Zoe as well. She's very strong in training as well.
Who's the biggest moaner?
Oh, I'd probably say Tasha Gaines most of the time. Did
Danica say the same?
Yeah.
She did, yeah.
Yeah, I think she did.
Bit of a theme here, sorry.
Yeah, probably agree as well. She'll probably admit she's quite a big moaner. But yeah, I'd probably give Tasha Gaines that title.
The most skillful at the club?
I'm probably gonna give that to Fran. I just look at some of the things Fran does, and I'm just like, how does one person like do that? She's so skillful and she's so amazing, like on her feet. If I could like pick one player to like play like, I'd probably pick Fran because she's just outstanding. You just never know what she's gonna do next as well.
Yeah, she's a superstar.
The scary thing about Fran as well is that she is just so young.
Yeah, she is.
It's frightening how good she could be. I've said it on the podcast last week, Danica, but we like her as the Harry Newman equivalent almost. But yeah, she's scarily good.
Yeah, and she's so confident as well in like her ability. Like, I don't think she'd ever like doubt herself, like taking on any player. So yeah, she's just gonna continue to grow. And I know she plays union as well, and she's got aspirations in like rugby union as well. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think she's gonna be probably one to watch in this World Cup and like for the future as well.
Definitely.
Who does she play for union? Just out of interest.
She's studying uni, so I think it's Loughborough Uni plays for that team.
Not like one of the best sporting unis in the country.
No, so got right. So she's doing all right.
Not doing too bad. The biggest drinker
Gotta be Hannah Butcher, yeah. When I see that, I was thinking,
kind of. As soon as I asked the question, I thought I know the answer to this.
yeah, gotta be Hannah Butcher. I'd have given Danica a title if she still played for us, but yeah, Hannah Butcher. I don't think anyone would outdrink her. Probably in the team. Probably even Danica won.
Outdrink the men. Just on Danica, while you mention her, I bet she's amazing fun on a night out.
Yeah, me and Dan, we've had some good night outs. Yeah, we have. Yeah.
Wasn't that the question that she asked us to ask, Lottie? What was your favourite off-field moment?
What was your favourite off-field moment? What was your favourite grand final off-field moment? There's something in that?
It probably a box. No, Manhattan. I think Candy. I think just listen to Candy. She'll know what I mean by that as well.
Who's the teacher's pet? Who's the coach's pet? Who's Lois's? Oh, yeah, yes, miss, no, miss.
Oh, that's hard. I don't know. You know, somebody always says your teacher's pet as well, but I can't remember who it's to. I don't know. I'd probably say that's an hard one. I probably wouldn't say anyone for that one.
Well, yeah. Jared, I think Jared O'Connor dodged that one as well, didn't he, Reese?
Yeah, it's an hard one.
I think he did. Yeah, I think he did. Who's the toughest player you've ever come up against in the opposition?
Oh, that's a difficult one as well. I'd say probably Amy Hardcastle. She's a really strong player. Yeah.
Yeah, she's good.
Don't want to really defend against her because she is really strong. But then I'd say, yeah, it's a toughie, that one. I'd probably say, probably Amy Hardcastle. Jodie Cunningham as well. She's a really strong runner. You can't predict what she's going to do as well. So yeah, I'd give it to one of the Saints girls. They're a strong team.
Who's the funniest teammate you've got or had?
I'd probably say Tasha or Courtney as well. Courtney is good. Yeah, but in moments, Courtney, she just comes out with some funny lines. Like on Sunday, she was just singing before we were about to kick off, and it's just like, Courtney, we're about to kick off. But yeah, hilarious.
Rocking out a tune.
Yeah, she has like the mindset of like a 16-year-old. She's hilarious.
She can do what she wants as long as she does that performance.
I was about to say, if it worked, she can be singing Grease while she's walking out there.
Yeah. That kicking game in the second half on Sunday was just outstanding.
Yeah.
Sing along.
On Sunday.
The best dress sense of your teammates?
Anyone
stylish? You can say yourself.
Yeah, I would say either Elfrain, or I'd put myself up there for dress sense as well. I'll take a lot of pride in what I wear. So yeah, the Elfrain, but I'd say my dress sense is all right as well.
This next question goes hand in hand. It's interesting to see if you do answer. Who's got the worst dress sense?
I'm trying to think. Oh, I'd say for shoes, I'd say Kara B, because she has some platform Crocs. So for shoes, it's got to be
platform Crocs.
I've got to Google this.
I didn't even know they existed.
Yeah, the Crocs with like a wedge on. I don't know where she's bought them from, but got them and they're horrendous.
Why are you looking at them, Reese?
I'm looking at them now. I'm like, wow.
Like Crocs is
amazing.
Like, not to liking Crocs, but like the platform ones, it's just a no from me.
It does sound wrong. My family, apart from me, are obsessed with wearing them. If my wife finds out about them, she's definitely buying them. That's my teammate questions, Reese. Over to you with the...
Well, I've got some mailbag and you've got some mailbag, haven't you?
Yeah, with the mailbag from some questions from our listeners.
So Ian said, thank you, Sophie, for sharing your thoughts and experiences at the time of the initial Black Lives Matter protests. In Rugby League, do you think Rugby League's taking on board those messages and their implications for the game?
Yeah, I'd probably say that they're taking steps. Yeah, I think a lot of sporting organisations are taking steps. I still think there's a lot to do though as well, and probably Rugby League still has steps that it needs to take. But yeah, like especially with Leeds, like the women's team have been taking the knee still this year, which I think is like positive for the game. But yeah, I think every organisation still has steps that they need to make just to make like the sport a bit more like diverse, include more like races. Yeah, steps that need to be made, but probably in a lot of organisations that's the same.
Thank you. Laurie typically asks 3 questions every time. The first one, in fact, 2 of these are food related. The first one is, what would be your last ever meal?
Oh, that's a tough question, that, Laurie.
Yeah, I've thought about this a lot, you know. So for starter, I'd probably have like
I love how I've thought about this for a while. I've got a full 7-course buffet prepared.
Yeah, it's definitely 3 courses. So probably maybe like salt and pepper chicken wings, or like salt and pepper chicken.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
we're talking.
This podcast made me hungry again.
And then main, definitely like a massive burger. I'd ask for like a double burger with cheese and bacon in, some onion rings, chips, and like mac and cheese as well as my side.
You have thought about this.
Yeah. I'm worried if I ever get asked a question, like I need to know, because I just don't want to make like mistakes. And then for dessert, I'm not a big dessert fan, but probably like a chocolate orange brownie or some jelly and ice cream. I'm really simple with desserts. So yeah, probably that for my last 3-course meal.
Sounds delicious, to be fair.
Brilliant. I was kind of thinking after those first 2 courses, the reason why it'd be your last ever meal is because of all the carbs and everything through all of that. Heart would be racing. Slightly different food question and a simple one. Ketchup or brown sauce?
Oh, ketchup, that's easy, that. I don't really like sauce.
Oh, brown sauce only.
Yeah, but I think brown. But I think it depends on what. You know, I'd never have brown sauce on chips.
Someone told me at work they had brown sauce on toast.
What? That's disgusting.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, they should have said brown sauce on toast.
I think it depends on what the food is, but 9 out of 10 times, I do prefer brown sauce. Yeah.
Oh really? Yeah, no.
And
Ketchup's more of an all-rounder, though, isn't it? I'm overthinking this. Move on,
This is why these podcasts are so long, because you're overthinking.
Me wearing, yeah, you're right.
And Laurie's final question is: what TV character would you love to be?
Oh, I don't know. That's the one I've not thought about. I'm gonna have to think about that. Maybe like someone like Peaky Blinders. I'd like to be in Peaky Blinders. Maybe like Tommy Shelby's wife. That would be nice. To play.
You'd want a Brummie accent.
If it meant I was in a program with Tommy Shelby, I think.
So David is we've kind of already asked one of these questions, but he said, who are the 3 most difficult players you've played against this season? So obviously we've mentioned Jodie Cunningham and Amy Hardcastle before. Is there anyone else that you could add to that to complete the 3?
I'd say this season, Tara Stanley. I think she's been amazing in York, and she's probably one player we didn't stop when we played them a couple of weeks ago. So we know she's probably one of their biggest threats when we play them again next week. I think she's been phenomenal. I think she'll probably win Woman of Steel as well, because she's played amazing this year.
Fair enough. And what do you think rugby league clubs can do to expand the women's game?
I think it's just continuously like promoting the women's squad. Like Leeds are so good at promoting us on like the social media, getting it out there when we're playing. So yeah, I think like promoting the women's team, using the women's team like for kit launches, like alongside just get women's players' faces out there, like make them become like a brand, like role models for like girls and boys to look up to, and giving them the chance to play like curtain raisers in the stadium. I think that's a big thing. Having one club like the men and the women like working alongside together, which should hopefully grow the game, and the foundations as well, like Leeds Rhinos Foundation, probably the reason so many young girls in Leeds are now playing rugby. So yeah, having foundations, getting out there and engaging children at like a school level, and then getting them into like amateur and local clubs, and then progressing from there.
It's kind of a follow-up question that in that, you know, if you were gonna go 10 years into the future, where would you hope that the rugby league women's game is?
I'm hoping that women are getting paid by then. I think it's close. I think we are a few years away still for full time, but hopefully 10 years women are able to play like full time, at least getting semi-professional, like getting paid for like match fees. Hopefully in 10 years, I think we'll be there and playing at as curtain raisers at Old Trafford and Wembley still, and playing at these massive stadiums.
Yeah, massively agree with that. You've got your mailbag questions as well, Lottie.
I have, yes. We've had some DM'd and emailed over to me. First one's from Olivia. Olivia asks, is Sophie super excited for this year's World Cup?
Yeah, I'm excited. I think it's good that it's over in England. I think it's good that the men, women and wheelchair are all playing like at the same time as well. Yeah, I'm rooting for I'm lucky I can root for England and Jamaica, so I'm rooting for Jamaica. I just think it's amazing, like they've got a team in this World Cup, and I'm just hoping like they go out there, show what they like can do, perform at like this top stage, and hopefully we'll have a women's Jamaican team in the next World Cup, which will be good.
Yeah, let's hope so. Helena says, please thank Sophie for inspiring my two daughters to play sport. They both really love watching the Rhinos women's side, so really inspiring.
Yeah, it's nice to hear that. Hopefully they just continue, just get them to keep watching and let them know that they've got every opportunity of playing for like Leeds Rhinos women team. If they just keep performing or in whatever sport, just go out there and excel and just keep doing it. I think it's good, even if you're not like playing at the top level, just meet people, socialise, like sports great, be able to do that.
Yeah, that's brilliant. You're clearly having a massive effect on kids. Liam says, who are or were Sophie's idols growing up, sport or otherwise?
So probably like sporting idol, like I love like Usain Bolt, like I just watching him race. Rugby, I'd probably say like, I used to love Brent Webb, like growing up.
Yeah, what a player,
yeah. Like I used to like idolize, so like probably Brent Webb. But yeah, you can't like doubt like Kevin Sinfield. I think he probably inspires so many young people growing up. So yeah, he's a big in rugby league as well.
And then from Melissa, finally, Melissa sent us 3 questions for you. What is Sophie's favourite animal?
I'd probably say turtles. I love turtles. Yeah, so I'd put turtles up there.
It can be ninjas as well, can't they? So that's
yeah.
Many animals can say that.
Oh yeah, sorry, I got that joke a bit late.
The ninjas. What is Sophie's favourite drink? Alcoholic and non-alcoholic. Do you drink? Oh, of course you do. Big party in it. 2018.
You know what? I don't actually drink a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, I go out, but most of the times I go out, I'll have one drink, if that. Like I'm like easy to not drink. I don't really like alcohol. But like, favorite alcoholic drink, I probably say like a strawberry mojito. I can have them and then I get sick of it. Soft drink. Yeah, soft drink. I'm happy with like a Coke Zero or like a Fanta Fruit Twist. I'm really bad with like I don't really drink a lot, so that's one thing I improve on.
Need to work on. And then the last one from Melissa, and the last question of the pod is, what is Sophie's favourite city?
Other than Leeds, just putting that in there.
Yeah, that comes as standard, obviously.
Whenever I go on holiday, I'm always like, because everyone's like, Leeds, and I'm always advocating for Leeds. I'm like, it's so good. It's like the best.
Amazing.
And I come back here and like, no, it's not. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's really bad. I don't know. I can't even think what cities I've visited before. No, I don't know. I'll go say Leeds. We'll go with Leeds.
There we go. It is the best. Just a quick one that I kind of forgot, but I have got noted down here from Danica. We spoke about your injury earlier, and I just remember Danica on the podcast said that when it happened, you were incredibly calm about it. You weren't screaming anything. How did you stay so calm during that injury?
I don't even know. Like now I think back to it, I can't really remember like the pain or like what happened. I think because it was so not like just let it out of my mind. But at one point, I know when they like put my ankle back in, I thought I died on the pitch because everything just went white, and I thought, no, I'm a god here because I just didn't know what was happening. I was like, I need to wake up. Yeah, I think just the pain was so much, it just like numbs it. And I was just like, there's nothing I can do now. So I just laid there. I was just more annoyed because I was meant to move to Australia a few weeks after. So I was like, I'm not going to be able to go to Australia now.
Oh, no way. No way. Well, thanks a lot for joining us. That were
welcome. I enjoyed it.
It were brilliant to have you on. Good luck for the grand final. We are obviously rooting for you, and well, we know you're going to win. We'll bring it back for us. Extremely confident in that. Thanks everybody for sending your questions for Sophie. That's the end of the podcast. Thanks a lot. See you on the next one.
See ya.
See ya.